I look like them.
Don't mind. This guy is a clumsy.
Emma, ponta.
Hey, gentlemen, please. We don't need the crowd around him.
No, what do you mean?
No.
I don't know you. This is there's no law. There's suspended the law. There's suspended the law. There's no law. There's no law. There's suspended the law. There is no law there. There is no law now. Down. You look like going down.
Don't push.
Is he coming in? See the steps.
Why don't you know?
Exactly.
It's intimidation.
Come now, let's go.
Please. Chill, okay.
Sit down.
Sorry. Any problem?
There is been another effort to rearrest him. As you can see, it's a standoff between Femi Falana SAN as well as men of the Department of State Services.
Are you not Nigerian? So now don't get it again.
Who is your head? Don't mind this. Are you running away?
Yeah, he's running away.
Now, can I advise you to go out? You cannot arrest in the premises of the court.
Please, can you walk out? You cannot arrest in the premises of the court. Who is your head?
They will not talk. Don't mind them. PSO is there.
So please, can we move?
PSO is there. ID.
Please, can we move?
His name is Babakide Adisa.
Let me just pass.
Even on there. Move. Hey, don't push.
Let me pass.
Yes, I beg. Here's the car.
Let me just pass. I don't want the problem. Let me pass.
No, don't worry, please.
Let's go out of the premises.
There is currently a stand-down between men of the Department of State Services and human rights lawyer Femi Falana and his clients and Olawale Mandate Bakare. There is a standoff. The men are armed to the teeth with a car to arrest Sowore and Bakare after they had been granted bail. And there is also Sowore, who is being prevented from being rearrested.
Masha. He knows already. He knows already.
Go out! This way!
He knows already.
Baba.
Abe!
Baba, no problem.
Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! We shall always fight for our rights! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever!
There is another standoff going on. Men of the Department of State Services and the car of rights activist Femi Falana, they are preventing him from leaving the premises of the Federal High Court in an attempt to rearrest Omoyele Sowore. Thank you.
All right.
This is a standoff, a hostage situation you're witnessing live from the Federal High Court in Abuja. This is an attempt to rearrest rights activist Omoyele Sowore barely 24 hours after he was granted bail by the Department of State Services.
Excuse me. So one of your vehicles are being on. You have an option.
Yes. Okay. Let your driver come and take it. Everybody here. Let your driver come and take it. You are talking to my staff. Everybody here. They will drive the car. Okay. They will drive the car. You cannot understand you got of this person.
Motions are high. Who will buckle first? It's a standoff. Basically a hostage situation. The DSS refusing to leave. They are armed to the teeth in an attempt to rearrest rights activist Omoyele Sowore.
If it's like this, nobody is. security operatives have been around Nigeria for me. Which is gone. Freedom of movement and kind of okay, please come down. Yeah, come. Yes. Yes. 5%. Yes. This is you want to drive and see your driver here. This is your driver. Is he not one of you? Papa. Please. Enough is enough. By struggle, freedom come. Freedom comes by struggle, freedom comes. By struggle, freedom comes. Freedom comes by struggle, freedom comes. By struggle, freedom comes. No by tweeting, no crying, freedom comes. By struggle, freedom.
This is a standoff. This is a standoff. A DSS driver has now invaded the car of rights lawyer Femi Falana. We don't know what will happen.
How many people DSS go kill? How many people DSS go kill? How many people DSS go kill? Hey, I go kill us fire. How many people DSS go kill? We fight us down. We fight people go kill.
Guys, keep your eyes open.
These are live scenes from the Federal High Court in Abuja, where Sowore is now being whisked, apparently, back to DSS detention. They have effected the rearrest on rights activist Omoyele Sowore in court. That is what has transpired. The DSS has succeeded in what seems like a rearrest of Omoyele Sowore, and they have driven off to the headquarters of the DSS, a few kilometers from the Federal High Court in Abuja. And this is what's happening. First, there was an attempt to rearrest him. Lawyers, journalists, people who were in court staff, everybody rallied. They threw themselves on Sowore to prevent his rearrest. Sowore came out with his lawyer Femi Falana in an attempt to leave and to enforce their rights as a free man because he has been granted bail by the court. But they were ambushed by DSS men who were armed to the teeth. It seems they have succeeded in effecting the rearrest, and they have zoomed up again with rights activists in a Gestapo manner to the headquarters of the DSS, barely 24 hours after the rights activists regained freedom. These are chaotic scenes that you're viewing from the Federal High Court, live images reaching you.
What a fake.
By the God and the court and sent her away from the court. This is a lawless nation. This is a lawless nation. You can't get watch Omoyele Sowore. We need ours to take him. No matter what, we shall not surrender this country to anyone. Nigeria belongs to us. Nigeria, no Nigerian is for Nigerian than other Nigerians. We are all Nigerians with the same rights. You cannot intimidate us in Nigeria and get away with it. Today you are on this divide, fighting the oppressed. Tomorrow you can come back to this other side. What is only constant in life is change. Omoyele Sowore is more than an individual. He is today an ideology. So whether you like it or not, the freedom he presses for, the good life for every Nigerian he presses for, we see the light of the day. He's not giving up. He cannot be broken. They attempted in the custody. They sent emissaries. They pleaded with him. Surrender what you believe, but he said no. He's too tall until justice prevails. And they have just truncated justice. We got yesterday, but no problem. It should also be known that today it wasn't an arrest. It was an assassination attempt. It was an assassination attempt. It was an assassination attempt. You strangled him. You grabbed your gun at him. You slapped him. You beat him. They tried to kill him in the cause of blood today. And the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching.
Live pictures of chaos, dust, and scenes of defiance, lawlessness. It's a mix and match of emotions between both sides in the battle for what some are describing as the battle of the soul for Nigeria. There has just been a rearrest of rights activist Omoyele Sowore in court, in open court, after he was granted bail barely 24 hours ago. He was granted bail at about 5 p.m. on Thursday. And he has now been whisked away to the DSS headquarters by men who were armed to the teeth and sent to carry out this mission. Scenes of chaos. There was a brief standoff. There was an attempt to strangle Sowore at some point, which was foiled by the police, which was foiled by journalists and some lawyers who threw themselves on Sowore and formed the human shield about him to prevent his rearrest. So this is the situation, this is what is happening. And
they want to go and kill him. They want to go and kill him. That's their If we are in a safe society, the DSS want to be custody. They are criminals. They are not even protecting us. They are the ones trying to answer. People every day. People are dying. I'm killing people. But yet, someone is standing against it and all they want to do is assassinate. Let this be in your mind that
all right, so we're now joined by, what are your thoughts about what has transpired?
It's just unfortunate. We are in a very bad place as a country. We are no longer practicing democracy. This is a full military regime. And my appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari is for him to suspend the constitution, close the National Assembly, house the jurisdiction of the court so that he can take full control of our judiciary, he can take full control of our legislature. And that's my appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari is a tyrant. is an unrepentant tyrant. He cannot change. He's not capable of change. And President Buhari is going to destroy this country. Before he finishes his term, he's going to destroy this country. I'm appealing to President General Muhammadu Buhari, to suspend the constitution, to ask the jurisdiction of the court so that he can become the supreme leader of Nigeria. That is the only way forward in moving forward. Because this is not a democracy. This cannot be a democracy. Because how do you explain a situation where the president is supervising unconstitutional means to ask jurisdiction of the court in a constitutional democracy? It is unacceptable. And this is an aberration to anything called democracy. What has happened today in court is a direct assault on our constitutional democracy, and it must be resisted by every sane Nigerian. We are no longer operating a democracy. What we have in Nigeria is a military dictatorship, and that's why the jurisdiction of the court have been ousted. So that is just my take on what has happened today.
Thank you.
Popularity for what?
It's okay, but
When you are killing the Nigerian now, you are saying that you are not.
I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to fear.
he's a lawyer.
But I will tell you. No, please. I will no, forget it. There's nothing. The worst you can do is to kill me. Even though I have not committed any offense.
What matters is the conscience.
But you know what? You
How many have you killed before they are killed?
No. Look what is happening today. What is happening today, sir? We have to act with the fear of God in everything we do. Apart from your profession, we were in courtroom. Police officers, I just saw it, manhandling a journalist. I was there to say, look, that's not the correct faction that you have. Correct faction that you have, the faction you have is not the correct faction. To say that someone has a bodily harm already. Look, there's a problem in this country. Look, let me tell you, as I'm saying you, I should be happy that you are here because my interest should be protected. But there's a problem. If you are here and I'm afraid, you are not doing your constitutional right, and it is dangerous. SARS, we have to be very, very careful. Whatever interest we are protecting, we have to be extremely careful because, like I said, today you are a police officer, you have the right to manhandle me if you want to. For your children or your children and your children's children are not going to be police officers. They could manhandle them tomorrow. We should be careful. What goes around comes around. I mean, don't do this to us. Don't do this to democracy. Don't do this to Nigeria. I mean, I am not running from anything. You keep on the camera at me because I'm a citizen.
Alice! A person will go, let's take in a person.
We'll put an armed car in your car. We said, no, you can't do that. Eventually, no, they beat a retreat, and you all saw the way they left here, like gangsters. And that's what our country has become. Your name again? Abdul Mahmoud. Abdul Mahmoud. My first name is Abdul, my surname is Mahmoud.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.